Hey guys, this is Rubus Calculum and welcome to the first video in my Redstone tutorial series. This will be one of two major series throughout my YouTube channel. The other series will be my survival world. Today we will be building an item protection system for your storage, for your double chest. This can be attached to any double chest as long as it has room for this contraption. This system will not work for 100% of the items in your double chest, so make sure not to fill it up completely. The best idea is to fill it up to 11 slots, which would be here, right here, where the fireworks are. Fill it up to there. As you can see, my fireworks are disappearing because I have it facing down. So they're disappearing. When they're gone, there will be nothing left in the chest. 11, 10, 9, 8, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And they've all vanished. And so a thief who has prying eyes may be like, oh, I can steal their fireworks. No fireworks. Huh, this is odd. And then they leave. But when you come back, you turn the lever to the correct position, and oh, a netherite pickaxe and a shovel that you put in earlier, and all your fireworks are coming back. Wow. With this simple system, you can protect a small amount of items in a large chest from any thief, except if they know redstone. I will be coming up with a solution to make it have a much larger storage system in the future. Hope you guys enjoy this tutorial. It was hard to make this redstone contraption so small, but after a while I got it. It took me a while here and there. The one difference between this video and the contraption I will be showing you is it has one less piece of redstone dust and it is one block smaller. Hope you guys enjoy. For this build you will need 2 chests, 7 redstone dust, 22 blocks of your choice, 1 barrel, 1 hopper, 1 dropper, 2 sticky pistons, 2 comparators, 1 item frame, 2 observers, 2 repeaters, and 1 half slab. This is going to be on a 2 by 6, I think. Yes, 6. And except this one little bit sticking out, that will be this barrel. So it is at this height, the head height here when you're standing. So you can just, if you can make room for just that one block, otherwise this is just 2 by 6 by 4. So line this up with this. The gold block is where your feet are gonna be. This is the scale. This is 1, this is 4, this is 3, that's 2, and that's 1. Your feet will be at 2, your head will be at 3, and the roof will be at 4. Or if you have space and then the roof's higher. And then this will be the floor itself, will be 1. So this gray bit, they're smooth stone slabs, and this is the blueprint, the floor print. So I'll get into survival and show you guys through that. I will also do another tutorial bit in creative, and do another side of it in creative to show you guys, and then give you a kind of taste of what each is like, and you guys go and say which one you prefer, creative or survival tutorials. The scaffolding, the slime block, the dirt, and the block of choice are optional. Extra block of choice, these are just to help you get around and stuff. So first you put 3 solid blocks there.
then put 3 redstone dust on top of that. Next, we take our scaffolding and build up a little bit just to get around. This is optional. Now you place a temporary block and a solid block on top of that with redstone on top of that. Now you take our sticky pistons, put it on the side of that solid block, and then put a temporary block there and put a repeater facing backwards into the piston. Now put a temporary block in front of the repeater, or the observer, place a observer next to that, and then break those temporary blocks. Get your hopper and your dropper in your inventory and scaffold up to the top so that you can get around. Place the dropper down next to that, and then place the hopper into that dropper. Now put a solid block next to between the hopper and the redstone dust. Now take your 2 chests, crouch jump, and then place them down on the hopper and the dispenser, or the dropper. Now place a 2x2 wall of blocks in front of there, behind the chest, and then place an item frame on the left top block and place a item of your choice on the inside. Now take your solid blocks and make a 2x4 grid, and then place one extra one at the front, or a 2x2, and then place one extra at the front left, and then take front right, and then take your half slab and put it down in the other space. Then take a temporary block, put that there, and then put the sticky piston on top of that. Then you take your solid block, put it in front of the sticky piston, and then take 2 repeaters facing into the sticky piston and the solid block. Then take your redstone dust and then place it one behind the repeater facing into the block, and place a block behind that, as you guys can see. Do all of that. Then place a comparator on subtract mode. That part is important, facing out, and then put a comparator facing towards it into that left side or the right side of that comparator, and then break all those temporary blocks. I advise using dirt as a temporary block, and yeah. Now I'm going to build a little platform to stand on. This is completely optional, although I did count it in the block of choice number. Now I'm going to build a side bridge. This was not in the block of choice count, and so then there. Now you can put your valuables in there. I'm just doing some random things, and turn it to any old number, and they'll disappear, besides 1. But if you turn it back to 1, then they'll appear again, and you can take them out. Now you can put more items into here. A stack. If you put 1 stack, that makes it 2 stacks makes it 3 is the keep things number. But I just realized, I didn't put it onto subtract mode. So you always add 1 number to the stack number, and then that is how many turns you have to do. Because see, I'm on 3. I put 2 stacks of items in the barrel.
Now time for the creative tutorial. As you might have seen in the previous few clips, this is made out of wool. Ignore that. This is to show the different circuits that make up this redstone item protector, which protects your diamonds and any other item you want. So here, this is the floor level you'll be standing on. So let's go. So you need 3 blocks that will stay there, and then 3 redstone dust. Then you need a temporary block there and another block. Then you need a sticky piston facing towards the front. Then you need another temporary block diagonal to the sticky piston right there, and put a redstone observer. You should see the eyes, the mouth, and the stuff facing towards you if you're looking towards the front of the build. Now break that temporary block, place another temporary block down in front of this observer, and then place another observer facing you, and then put a solid block there, and another solid block there. Take your dropper and put it on the side where the observer is, and you put it in facing up. Then take your hopper and put it facing towards into the dropper. And then take your two chests, and then crouch and place them on your dropper and your hopper and your dropper. It should be a double chest, and it should combine. If it doesn't combine, then watch this video again until you can get it. They have to be facing the same direction, and they should combine into a double chest. Then we take a piece of redstone dust and put it on top of that block at the very back, and then place a temporary block there, and then place a sticky piston there, and then place a solid block there. Then break that temporary block. And then place a block on top of the front observer, the first one we placed down, and then place a smooth stone slab on the left side of that. Then on the smooth stone slab in that last block we placed, put 2 repeaters, 1 on each, and then put a solid block behind the slab and the repeaters. Then put a piece of redstone dust on the back one, and then put a solid block on the top of the back, or the repeater facing into the sticky piston. Then break the block below that, break that block that's below the repeater break that block, and then you place a piece of redstone dust on top of that. And then you place this here, that block there, and then place a comparator there and subtract mode. So it should have that front light should be on. Then place 2 blocks, or really 4 blocks, there and there, and put your item frame with what I put a lever. Generally, you can put sticks is the easiest one to get. And you put a lever into that item frame, place that on the back where the comparators. It should be the comparator facing into the block should be on, and so should the repeater, and so should the comparator. But the first repeater should not. But if it's not in subtract mode, well, yeah, it'll be the same. But make sure it's in subtract mode. Then you place a solid block right next to that comparator on the right side, and then place a comparator facing into that, and then place a solid block there, or a temporary block there. Take your barrel and place it there and break that. And that's it. And so now what you do is you place your items in here. So I want to protect my diamond sword from prying enemy eyes. And so now I'll just turn it to another one. And oh, it's vanished. But if we place it back on top, it's back. And this is how it works. So since the lever is facing up, it's on position 1. And position 1 is different for a lot of different items. And so then the comparator sees through the block and says, oh, the lever is in position 1, so I'll send a 1 signal strength output, which powers the repeater, which resets it to 15, and then sends a signal through this block down here, and then the signal can pass under this half slab and into this, blocking into this block, which powers the hopper, and then locks it so it can no longer take items from the chest. And then at the same time, this piece of redstone dust in the back powers that piston, which powers these two observers, creating a clock, because when this observer gets moved there, it's like, oh, I just moved, and sends a redstone signal. And then this other observer is like, oh, I just got another observer slammed in my face, and sends a redstone signal. And then the second observer is like, oh, the first observer just sent a redstone signal out. I'll send a redstone signal. And then the first observer is like, oh, the other one just sent a redstone signal, and then it sends a redstone signal, and then it makes a clock, redstone clock. And so then that shoots any items in the dropper out into the large chest, which once you turn the lever into any position that's not position 1, then it gets sucked up by the hopper, and if the hopper is facing into the dropper, then the dropper will spit it. Well, it'll stay in the dropper till it's back into position 1, in which it will be spit into the large chest. But the hopper is locked, so it can no longer take from the large chest, thus it is staying inside. The only downside with this design is that the clock will keep running. The observer clock will keep running unless you take it off or turn it off and set it. But then your items will go away. So just my advice is either ignore the constant ticking sound, break this block, or turn your volume down. So yes, that's the creative thing done, except one last thing. Each stack of items, so I put 64 in here, will change it one setting. So it's on 1, and that's incorrect, so it doesn't give enough output, so nothing's going through. If it goes on 2, however, it gives a 1 output, because this is subtracting, it's 1 stack, subtracted by 1 output length, or 2 output length, equals 1. And so then that's how that works. So if you want to add more items, then we'll just add more items. The more items you add, the greater the signal strength is, and the higher. So if I added a stack in there, which I just didn't, I added 1. So I'll grab a stack or something. A stack of wood there. Take that there. So if I add another stack, now there's 2 stacks in there. Well, currently it's on position 2. So position 2 subtracted by 2 stacks equals 0. But position 3 subtracted by 2 stacks equals 1. And then position 4 subtracted by 2 stacks equals 2. So then it doesn't work anymore and everything's turned off. So the more stacks you add, the different position it will be. You can tell when the position you have it correct is if your items are in the chest and this first repeater is on, but the second repeater is off. There we go. That's a creative one.
This is the end of the tutorial. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Please like and subscribe. It means a lot to me. So this is going to be the first in a very, very long line of tutorials. Some fun, some goofy, some useful, some purposeful, and they will be very fun redstone tutorials. Redstone is one of my passions. I hope you guys enjoy it as well as I do. See you guys in the next episode. Bye.